If you could teleport from court to court at tennis academies around the world, it's unlikely you'd find a lot of coaches actively training students on the drop shot. So isn't it interesting that when you think of the world number 3 Ons Jabeur, it's probably the first shot that comes to mind? For Jabeur, the dropper is not an auxiliary tool or a changeup surprise tactic. It's a core weapon. Tennis is constantly evolving, and while the drop shot has existed forever, it may be more relevant than ever. Tennis Hall of Fame historian Joel Drucker says, stylistically, so many players are taught an east to west game. We're in a world where people are standing 8 to 10 feet behind the baseline to return serve. You see where the grass is worn out at Wimbledon. If we're entering a drop shot boom, then Jabeur is the trailblazer. In the last year, Jabeur's drop shot rate has been about 5 times the tour average. So why does Jabeur hit so many, and how does she get away with it? Let's start with decision making. What ingredients does a player look for before hitting a dropper? Drop shots are best deployed when the incoming ball is of lower quality, slow and short. Your court position is offensively threatening, usually inside the baseline, and your opponent's court position is compromised, usually deep, to prepare for power aggression. When 2 or 3 of those boxes are checked, the drop shot can be a relatively simple winner for high-level pros. But as is the case with any tactic, success requires execution, and this particular shot requires soft hands. Drop shots are effective because of depth, more precisely, a lack thereof. A successful drop shot bounces twice in front of the opponent. The closer that second bounces to the net, the better. Players use backspin to help with that, and the quicker the second bounce comes, the better. Players are careful not to put too much air under their shot to minimize the time it takes for the ball to bounce twice. It's the most delicate of shots. Deaden the pace, apply some backspin, and clear the net, but don't hit too high or too deep. Jabeur has an undeniable natural talent for getting all of these things right. But if an opponent anticipates a drop shot, they may neutralize it regardless. In a typical drop shot preparation, the grip is changed from drive to slice as late as possible, but that technique still gives away the shot moments before the ball is struck. Luckily, Jabeur has another trick in her bag. She shares her love for the drop shot with a similar infatuation. Slicing deep in the court on both her forehand and backhand. A drop shot and a slice are hit with a continental or eastern grip from the same take-back technique. And since both techniques look almost the same until the moment the ball is struck, it's near impossible for opponents to read what's coming. So why does Jabeur hit the drop shot so much? It's because she can. Jabeur has so much skill. She can hit strong droppers under imperfect circumstances. Jabeur can hit a drop shot off a relatively fast and deep ball when she's behind the baseline and somehow make it work. You're paying top dollar for a dish that good. But even the best chefs in the world can twist themselves in knots sometimes and stumble in creative endeavors. When a tactic is repeated over and over again, its efficiency suffers. As Pam Shriver told us, the drop shot gets Jabeur into trouble when she overplays it. Once players see the drop shot a few times, they read it better. In this way, the drop shot can be a double-edged sword for the world number 3. Her reliance on it could explain her win percentages by surface. Drop shots are great on grass because the ball tends to take a low or dead bounce, making it harder to track down. On clay, the bounce is higher, but the backspin grips the court more, which is ideal for shallow depth. Plus, players tend to play further behind the baseline on the dirt. On both grass and clay, traction is compromised, meaning players are slower to rush forward to the ball. On the hard court, the traction is perfect. The bounce is usually higher, and the backspin doesn't always bite. So is it a coincidence that the hardest surface to drop shot on is also Jabeur's worst? Likely not. Jabeur should be careful not to overuse the drop shot, on hard court especially, but overall, the shot is one of the most dazzling and disruptive weapons on tour. As Shriver points out, any play that takes a player out of their normal baseline rhythm is good. Many WTA players move best side to side versus up and back. This may be a perfect climate for Jabeur to take this signature shot all the way to major titles. For Baseline Media, I'm Gil Gross.